look at it. This is kind of interesting, too. I found this really fascinating. This is from Pro Football Focus, Browns Twitter. So the Browns grades via Pro Football Focus: 10th best offensive grade, 4th best defensive grade, 6th best special teams grade. It's the only team in the top 10 for all three facets of football, and yet they're a 500 team. That kind of goes to show when they've been good, they've been really good. And when they've been bad, boy, have they been really bad.
And I think those middle ground games, too, where, it wasn't a great game necessarily for the entire team as a whole, those grades are higher for different levels because you'll have a game where the offense is firing on all cylinders and they look amazing. And then you'll have another game where the defense is firing on all cylinders and they look amazing. But then in between, when the offense is going, the defense kind of slagging. And when the defense is slagging, maybe the offense is going. And you've seen that a lot this season where they didn't have a complete game. Now, the game against the Bengals, that was their most complete game. They looked good on both sides of the ball. And so that was their really only full complete game this season that they've had. Everything else has been either offense or defense, not both. Both haven't looked good aside from that Bengals game, and you saw the results of that game. And that's what they're going to need to do throughout this season. They're going to have to make sure that they are firing on all cylinders, because then you have games where you are blowing out your opponent 41-16 rather than getting blown out 45-7 like we saw last week. So it's got to be complete on both sides of the ball, and they have the talent. Obviously, those numbers don't lie. Those rankings don't lie. I think those are pretty accurate, even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes with this 5-5 record and how these games have gone. It doesn't always feel like that. But when you look back at the season and you see some of these wins and even some of the losses that were pretty close, I mean, it comes down to one or the other, and in order to make this season work for them, they're going to have to really get that together and fire on all cylinders in all three phases of the game.